Welcome, Theresa. I'm so excited to see your beautiful face. Hey, girl.
Hi there, Lisa. Thank you so very much. I appreciate that. I'm
You're
excited
amazing.
to be here.
What's that?
I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you here. Oh my gosh. So, we're going to just like jump forward because you've been on this podcast before. I think it was in the beginning stages of you inventing, developing, or waiting for shipment. But now it's here. Cover Me Clean is here. I have my box right here. So please, Theresa, my amazing client, let's start talking about you first. Let's talk about you. You invented a product that is a worldwide sensation. This is a product that every single mom and eventually every single person will need. It's a disposable car seat cover that, with where we are today, we're so um, germ averse. I guess that's the way of putting it. We're so
Yes.
concerned about germs and things touching us, especially with our children. So, what we're
Yeah.
showing you today is a car seat cover for children. This is a baby car seat cover. And Theresa, let's jump off by you telling us your story.
Okay. Well, thank you again, Lisa, for having me here. Um, Originally, we talked before when we had the first podcast, everybody was waiting to hear about what it was that I was inventing at the time or what we were talking about. And we weren't able to give any information because it hadn't been protected or anything like that. So Cover Me Clean came about being at work, friends, family, and different ones traveling back and forth through the airport, being a mother, a grandmother, and then seeing the other families, the struggles that they have with the car seats. You can never keep them clean. They've always got something in them, whether it be, crumbs or debris or Cheerios or something. And so a lot of the times when the families would come through to the airport, they would ask for bags to place their car seats in. They want to cover them up because they didn't want you to see, first off, how, dirty they were. And then the other thing is when they go down on the ramp, they didn't want them to get dirtier than what they were already. So I just started thinking about, you know what? That's a good idea. That's something that we should have a cover for the car seats
Mm-hmm.
because the children are eating their snacks, they're having their fun and spilling things. And parents are you're just driving along, you're not really paying attention, but then a few weeks later you're in the seat, you're in the back trying to put the seat in to get it, set up or whatever, and you realize that all of these things are in the car seat, and now you start the process of trying to remove the car seat cover, and that's a nightmare in itself. So that
That's
is
not
the
easy.
Cover Me Clean.
You know what I think about, like, so my son is, my oldest child is, should I even say how old my oldest child is? All right, well, I'll say it. He's
Yes,
14 years old.
Lisa, say
There's
it.
no way that I ever even thought about protecting that seat because he was in a car seat too. But my youngest, so 27 years old, Gianna, in a car seat, all of the stuff that you're talking about, Theresa, you lift up that car seat cover because you want to like wash it because you're going, this is getting a little gross. But what's
Mhm.
underneath that too was all of the, like you said, Cheerios and leftover formula. It's starting to smell and everything. It's not as easy to just take that car seat cover off and put it in the washing machine. But what you've invented was to alleviate all of that, a product that alleviates all of that, where you're taking this disposable car seat cover, putting it all over all of that, taking it and throwing it away after whatever, how many uses? Maybe four, five, six uses.
It's actually a disposable washable. So you can take it off and you can
Okay.
wash it if you need to until you get your next product, or
Hmm.
you could just dispose of it and put your next one on because they come three in a box.
Hmm.
So you're going to be receiving three in a box. And
Hmm.
so you can take it off right away and dispose of it, or either you can just go on and um, just wash it and use it, a couple of times and then put it back on.
What I love about this also is when I took this off to put this on Olivia's car seat, um, was it has several slits. It has
Yes.
a multitude of slits. So I'm looking at what you have set up there, and
Yes.
you're
So
looking at one slit, but there are several different slits that fit a variety of car seats. So it
right.
literally fits every single car seat there is on the market.
Yes. And for the harness area. So
Uh-huh.
the harnesses, they, and then with the new car seats now, they have them where they're adjustable, where you don't even have to buy new car seats any longer. You can adjust them from infant to
Mhm.
toddler until they're like, I think maybe 7 or 8 years old, because if they're underweight, they still have to be in the car seat. So they have them where they are adjustable. And so
Mhm.
that's the reason for the small, medium, and the large size, where you can just buy them and you can keep those, put those on the car seat as you adjust it to the child's height or weight.
So what I like about this too, Teresa, is like on you have bullet pointed, environmentally friendly, no messy cleanups, struggle and hassle free, full coverage, helping to minimize exposure to harmful germs, dirt buildup, and grime. And this
Yes,
is big because a lot of people do not wash their car seat covers. And this exposes children to germs, infection,
yes,
sickness, and all that. You put this car seat cover on, this disposable car seat cover, you're eliminating all of that.
yes,
I
yes,
love
because
it.
they're exposed to skin infections just from all of the dirt and the grime that they're being exposed to. Lisa, this is the one of my stories.
Okay, please
My
share.
my my grandsons are still in car seats, and prior to me creating the product, I was going to take it off and just wash it. Well, the struggle of trying to even get it off. I mean,
Yes.
it is a real, I
It's a
don't know
hack.
what they were
Yes.
thinking, but when you finally get it off and you put it in the washer, whatever, and you clean it, putting it back on is even worse.
There. Yep.
And
Yep.
then you have it on for maybe 2 or 3 days. You take the kids to the park, you take the kids to the beach, you take the kids, just to McDonald's.
Hmm.
And you look and it's just like you've never washed it.
You know what, too, Teresa? Like drying it. So when you take off that big, giant, I'm going to say ginormous, like the kids do,
Yes.
ginormous car seat cover, it's a bear to dry.
Yes.
It's a bear to put in the washing machine. It's a bear to dry. I'm not saying that you shouldn't wash it and you shouldn't dry it, but when you have Cover Me Clean, when you put
Yeah.
Cover Me Clean on, as soon as you purchase your car seat, literally you avoid all of that nonsensical mess. Put this on, take it off, throw it away, or wash it. Now, how
Yes.
many uses, Teresa? How many times can they use it
I
before?
would say 2 to 3 uses on it,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll withstand that.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done that for myself. I've taken them and I've washed them a couple of times just to make sure. But yes,
Right.
about 2 to 3 uses. Mhm.
That's amazing. So let's shout out your website again where they can purchase this.
Yes, it's at covermeclean.com. Covermeclean.com.
So and you're on social media
Yes, I am.
and
I'm
you're on
on
every social media
Twitter.
platform
Yes, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter,
so proud of
as
you.
well as Pinterest.
And Pinterest. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
How does that happen? How does no, tell us, how does that happen? Like
You
Pinterest.
just go on there. I mean, I just, as far as where they can go on and just look at the product. So you
Mhm.
just go on and upload your pictures and everything, and then they can go on there and look at them.
So for all of the inventors out there, because everybody does not know what you know now, you're well versed obviously in what you do. So how did you get to put this on Pinterest? Did you apply?
No, I just
What
went
was the
in.
process?
You sign up for Pinterest, and then
Mhm.
once you sign up, then you just go on in and start uploading your products or whatever. Upload your information.
Okay, so let me tell you something. That sounds easy.
Yeah, it
Now
does.
you're now a seasoned inventor, entrepreneur. So for the people out there, and you know this because when we started working together, how many years ago was that?
Oh, goodness, about 3 or 4 years, 4 years now. 4 years, about 4 years now.
So now, so this Inventors podcast is all about explaining to inventors and entrepreneurs how things work. So
Yes.
when you came to me many years ago, you weren't sure about how anything worked, how it worked. Now you're a seasoned inventor, entrepreneur, and you're saying, yeah, just put it on Pinterest, upload, and you know it was not as easy as that. Amazon was not as easy as that. So for you
Oh,
listeners out there who have products that you've invented, you're manufactured, it takes time, it takes patience. And so I ask you this, Teresa, because there's so many people who are watching this right now, all of you inventors and entrepreneurs going, wow, Teresa just knows her stuff. She just knows how to make stuff happen. Let's break it down, Teresa. Let's break,
okay. Let's
let's
start
break,
over then.
let,
I
no,
don't. I I dare not make them think that. So let's start over.
let's
This
make
has
it
not
real.
been an easy task.
And that's what we need. We need to make it real for people because if when we're talking, and you can't help it because you're going through it, right? You're just
Yes.
did. But for most people, when they watch podcasts like this,
Mhm.
it sounds like it's a walk in the park. You didn't see Teresa's real face. You didn't see what happened. She was like, you didn't see her
Yes.
you
Yes.
didn't see 6 months ago, you didn't see years ago, a year ago when all of
Yes.
this was transpiring. And I'm not saying it's hard and you shouldn't do it. I'm not trying to discourage inventors and entrepreneurs, but you have to be in it. You have to be fully engaged, fully ensconced, and want to do it. And you're the best example, Teresa. I have to tell you, because you were all in 100% hook, line, and sinker from the day we met and started talking.
Mhm.
And you were open to whatever it took to make it happen. And
Yes.
it literally is not just look at Pinterest, look at Amazon, and you're there
Mm.
automatically. It's not how it
No.
works. You have
No.
to put in, you have to put in the time and the effort. And go ahead, Teresa.
Yes, and you have to be verified. There's a lot that goes along with it. It really is. And like you said, as you're walking through it, it can be overwhelming. But because I had my faith in God, of course, to begin with, and then the roadmap that you laid out for me, Lisa, that helped give me direction and clarity. And you let me know where you're going to have lion, tigers, and bears on this road. So get ready for it. They can jump out at any moment, you know?
Yes.
And that's exactly how it is. You're working on one thing and you think you've gotten it, to a certain critique, and then it's like, nope, that's off. There's no way that that's going to be able to fit because of this, that, and the other. Maybe it's because of where the harness areas are and you're just a few inches off, but those few inches make a difference. And so you walking through it, believe me, there's been sleepless nights, there's been agony and pain.
In a good way.
but but we get through it, Lisa. I call you, we talk about it, we laugh about it, and then we just go from there, start over. Let's get it done. And so it's not an easy task, but when you have people like yourself and your team that work with you, the attorneys and all the ladies from AOE, it's a
Support.
family. It's like, let's do this. And we discuss what we're going through and encouraging one another. Yeah, it's a task, but it is a joy. It's a joy. And especially when you see things start to unfold.
And you know what? We had this conversation yesterday, Teresa, and when you're walking through it as an inventor and as an entrepreneur, you don't see yourself. You don't see the amazing things that you accomplish because you're in it. We could
Yes.
because you're in it. So when I look at you and look at where we started from the beginning, the napkin idea, literally a
Mhm.
napkin, a sketch,
Yes.
an idea, and you have that stick to itiveness that you, well, obviously the passion and everything else that goes along with it in order to stay and make it happen,
Yes.
we see the end result. So
Yes.
with what you're talking about, with all of the bumps and everything, the obstacles you have to overcome, you really have to be in it. And you have been, Teresa, from the very beginning, because it was something that you wanted to do. When
Yes.
you are inventing a product, obviously, it's something that you have to be passionate about. So many people watch Shark Tank and they watch all of these different shows and they want to become inventors, and they may not necessarily um, be completely passionate about what they're doing. They just want to, they want the end result. You have to walk through the process of you, as you have. You've walked through every single step passionately, and that shows through. In order to become successful in what you're doing, you have to have the passion, the drive, the dream, the vision, which is what you've done. And I'm
Yes.
so proud of you, Teresa. And
Thank
it
you,
takes a
Lisa.
lot to do this.
I wouldn't have been able to do it without you. And that's the truth. That's the truth.
And I would not be able to do this without your passion, honestly. And you know this. I have people who come to me with dreams and ideas, but if they don't have that passion, the same passion that you have, it's not a dance. You know, I like
No.
to dance, right? It's
Mhm.
not a dance unless we both do this together. It
Yes.
has to work. It has to work. So
Yes.
I love that you're expressing this, you're explaining it in such a more marvelous way. So what words of encouragement would you give to new inventors who have ideas, who have, I guess, the desire to develop, manufacture, and take your time. I don't want to put you on the spot because there's so much. What would you say to a new inventor or an old inventor who has a product idea that they want to get launched or moving forward? What would you say? What's your advice?
My first advice would be to um, shut out all the chatter. First thing, shut the doors, shut the windows, everything to all the chatter, because you're going to get so many people trying to give you input on what it is that you're trying to do. And if you're not passionate, you're going to fall off really quickly. Um, Me, myself, I like moving in silence. Just keep it to yourself. And, you know, a couple, with the exception of the mentors and other people that are going to be working with you, your team, um, even with family members, because they don't mean harm, but they don't understand. And so they may give you bad advice. They may give you um, wrong directions. And so you really have to just shut out the chatter. You have to focus in on what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Get with the people who are there with you, your team that's going to assist you, because they know the roadmap, they know exactly how it goes and how it works. And just get to the grind, just get on it. And I mean grind at it from with everything, every fiber of your being, just grind at it, and just know that nothing can stop you but you, no matter
Thank you.
what.
That is awesome advice. And I mean, for listeners out there, really, this is it.
Mhm.
And I always say it's a gut. You know, when
Yes.
you're ready to do something, when you're ready to invent the next big thing or whatever you're passionate about, you feel it right here in your gut. And I always do.
Yes.
And even with my clients, like you, Teresa, you're like, mm, you're the, mm, you make it
Yeah.
happen. You're passionate, you believe it, you want to do it. And I'm so proud of you. And I'm so blessed to have you as a client, that you walked through the steps and you jumped over the hurdles, which are there, folks. They
Yes.
are there. You
Mhm.
know, and some people jump off. They're not trying to jump over, they jump off. They're like, this is too much for me. This is way too much for me to handle. And I'm
Yes.
just being candid and honest. And I thank you for your being candid and really authentic, being your authentic self, because it takes everything to do this.
Yes.
And
Yes.
but you did it. You aced it,
And
girl.
Lisa, you know what? I'm excited. At first I was thinking, oh my goodness, this is a pandemic. In the middle of pandemic, we're having to, try to get all this done. And that was a whole other issue.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really thankful that God allowed me to be able to walk through this during the pandemic because I
Yes.
had to, yes, because it really, you understand patience. You understand patience. And if you don't, what's that song? If you don't know now, you know.
Now you know exactly. Yes.
Because definitely it will challenge you
Yes.
from every area of your life. It'll challenge you. And so you have to really just understand that this is what it is, this is how it works. Take a deep breath and just ride the wave. Ride the waves.
Hmm. And you did it. This was the most challenging time ever. And during
Yeah.
the pandemic, you received your inventory.
Yes.
What? What? What?
Yes.
Like this. So it happens when you have faith, which you did, which you always do. You have faith. You
Yes.
put your best foot forward. You were patient. You were patient. Everybody does not have the patience like you have. Some people jump off. They jump out into the ocean and they're like, no,
No.
really? How could you ever give up? You have put in time, money, energy, but people sometimes they just give up because it's like it's overwhelming. And I'm just being honest. And I never want to discourage people from inventing products that they have in their hearts, in their minds,
Right.
solution oriented products, which is what yours is, Teresa. But
Yes.
people jump off, they jump ship, and I never understand. I'm so proud of you for doing what you're doing and hanging in there. And I guess
Thank
I guess,
you.
I mean, I don't want to say it's easy to jump ship. It's actually not. I'd rather stay in it than to leave it. Don't
Yeah.
abandon what your dream is ever,
Yeah.
ever, ever. So
Right.
thank you for being such an amazing example in showing people that you did it. You thought of this product, you succeeded, it's on the market. And
Yes.
again, repeat how we can purchase a product.
You can go to covermeclean.com and you can purchase it there on the website. I'm working on my Amazon deal thing because that is a that's a whole nother monster, but we're getting it worked out. And so you'll soon be able to purchase it on Amazon.com. And if you see me anywhere, I can do you for square.
I love it. I love it. Well, you'll be at the conference. You will be
Yes,
selling your product at our conference on
yes.
June 25th. That's Saturday, June 25th, from 12 until. So, Teresa, please, oh my gosh, continue to share what you do. I will
Yeah.
share everything you're doing. Come back on the Inventress podcast over and over and over again. You are amazing.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
thank you, thank you, my
Absolutely,
dear.
Lisa.
I love you.
Love
Stand
you
by.
too.
Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Teresa.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.